You know what IHE actors and transactions are. They are used in IHE profiles. You know a little bit about the radiology profiles. Those profiles are categorized under domains. The IHE Technical Frameworks cover many types of healthcare services. Each of these is a collection of profiles with actors and transactions, all specific to their own domains. IHE profiles are implementable specifications describing how to use established standards to meet specific healthcare needs. IHE actors rely upon a consistent understanding of the data they are exchanging. Some IHE profiles focus heavily upon the data definitions. There is one technical framework per IHE domain, with each framework comprised of multiple volumes. These documents are made freely available to the healthcare community worldwide. Technical frameworks provide a unique resource for developers and users of health IT systems. They provide a set of proven, standards-based solutions to address common interoperability issues. Each IHE profile emphasizes and addresses these aspects of integration to a different degree. For example, the radiology scheduled workflow profile concentrates on workflow and messaging, but also addresses on a limited basis content and nomenclature, while the cardiology imaging report profile is primarily about content and nomenclature. Workflow is documented in IHE in the body of the profile, often in the form of a process flow diagram. Transport is documented in IHE in the form of transactions. Content is documented in the form of content modules and sometimes directly in the body of transactions when the message payload is relatively fixed. Content may include nomenclature, which is documented in profiles, transactions, content modules, or the underlying standards as appropriate. While each domain's technical framework is developed independently, integration profiles in one domain's technical framework may reference the transactions and content modules defined in another domain's technical framework. The technical framework constrain these standards but do not contradict conformance. If IHE identifies any errors in or extensions needed to existing standards, its policy is to report them to the appropriate standards body for resolution. Most products will have many other features, behaviors, and design details that are outside the scope of IHE. Product designers are encouraged to consider IHE requirements as a baseline and to build user-beneficial features that make creative use of the information provided through IHE integration. There's ample opportunity for creativity, ingenuity, and differentiation. IHE profiles depend on the defined actors being present, not on how the actors are allocated to the products, whether it's one large system or multiple specialized systems, a single vendor or multiple vendors, whether you have Epic that does 47 different things or you have an individual module for each little department. This preserves freedom for users and vendors in how health IT components are implemented, purchased, and deployed. To comply with an actor in an IHE profile, a system must perform all the transactions or content modules required for that actor in that profile. A given product may implement more than one actor and more than one integration profile. When more than one actor is implemented in a single product, IHE refers to the actors as being grouped. The first three are pretty obvious. Content modules are a little harder to understand. Consider how an image is transmitted to PACS. It gets packaged up into a preamble, prefix, DICOM header, and image pixel data. So the message framework is very different from the actual content of the message, which is really just the image. To keep the message structure, concept, and the message content separate, IHE uses content modules that deal specifically with the message content. Content modules may be defined in a number of different standards, the two most prevalent being HL7 Clinical Document Architecture and DICOM Information Object Definitions, or IODs. So that's the overview and general requirements for all the technical frameworks across all the domains. Now let's talk about the Radiology Technical Framework. The current technical framework is revision 14.0. It has 4 volumes. TF1 is the integration profiles. TF2 is transactions RAD 1 through RAD 29. TF3 is transactions RAD 30 through RAD 75. TF4 is the national extensions. National extensions extend the IHE framework to other nations. So far, it extends to France, Germany, Italy, United Kingdom, Canada, and Spain. Here's what the cover of Volume 1 looks like. Here's what the contents page of Volume 1 looks like. The IHE Radiology Technical Framework transaction volumes have the same 7 sections for all 75 transactions. They are scope, use case roles, reference standards, interaction diagram, trigger events, message semantics, and expected actions. Here are the definitions for each of those sections. This is the technical framework pages for transaction RAD 15. Here you see the scope and the use case sections in their full spelled out way. It continues on to cover the reference standards, interaction diagram, trigger events, and message semantics. Lastly, it lays out the expected actions. So that's all about the technical framework documents. See you in class.